This video ends when I finish all of my whips.
So I'm working with frogged yarn right now, and I thought that these two balls were the same size when I started it. I'm holding the yarn double for this project, and I am quickly running out of this one. But don't fret, I have more. I also have an entire unused skein, but I don't think I'm gonna need to open that. I think these and what I'm currently working with will be more than enough, because this is a baby sweater for 0 to 3 months, and this is just the second sleeve. This project works so fast. I literally started this last night. It's time to bind off. I've already failed and brought out another basket of projects. I need to start working things down. Oh yeah, I also passed it on 2 other things. Don't be mad at me. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Let's start fixing it though. So I don't have an official intro for this video, I'm sorry, but we're gonna go ahead and just get started with it. I have a million whips and I just keep casting things on. I have run out of project bags. I've run out of space in my cupboard where I keep all of my yarn and whips, and it's kind of coming into the living room where we're currently sitting. And it's getting overwhelming and I don't like it. Filled up this basket with 2 projects. One that I was really excited to be working on, and one that has been on the hook for over a year, which is actually my oldest whip. I think I need to set some ground rules. I originally set the goal of, if it fits in this basket, that's the only thing I'm working on, because I want to try to become a monogamous knitter, crocheter, what have you, while we work through these projects. I think that's the only way that I'm actually going to be able to get anything done, is if I start having that monogamous crafting plan. Now it's a question of, do I work on my longest standing whip or do I work on my newest whip? The answer should be work on the oldest, because anytime I go to sit down with the newest whip, I'm just forgetting about the old ones, and that's the problem. I am gonna drink my coffee and start working on my blanket over here. This is the face of disappointment after losing Yarn Chicken so close to the finish line. And yes, I have a heating pad sitting on my shoulder because I crocheted way more than I expected to do today, but I just could not stop, and now my shoulder is like sore. I'm definitely done after I frog this row. But let me just show you how close to the finish line we are. So here is my sad little end of yarn. And here is the end of round. I was so hopeful, but I was also terrified that this was going to happen when I started this third round. Time to frog. I never thought I would see today. I never thought I would see today. We're weaving in the ends on a very long-standing project. What is this melody that I'm creating? It doesn't attach itself to anything. Oh my god, the needle won't go through. Anyways, I never thought I'd see today. We are weaving in the ends on my blanket. I've had a love-hate relationship with this project for over a year. Weaving in the ends, weaving in the ends, weaving in the ends, weaving in the ends. Let's go, let's go. We're weaving in the ends, we're weaving in the ends, yeah, weaving in the ends, weaving in the ends, finishing it up, then it's gonna be done, and I don't have to worry about it ever again. So I officially have a basket full of finished objects. I have this 0 to 3 month sized baby cardigan. I used Bronze by Suburban Stitcher, and I literally am obsessed with this pattern. This is actually the second one I have made. I have a yellow one sitting somewhere, and I have another one that is currently on the needles, which I think is going to be the next thing I pick up to work on. It is a newer project. I started this on September 2nd, 2015, finished it September 5th, did I say 2015? I started this September 2nd, 2025, and finished it on the 5th of 2025. There we go. Yeah, it took 3 days to finish this thing. It does still need buttons, but it's done. It's done with the yarn work, okay? And then just this morning, I finished and weaved in all of the ends on this blanket, trying to show it to you as best I can. This was from Hot Springs Fiber Company, and it is the Blanket of Knowledge subscription. I did not follow the Blanket of Knowledge pattern. I chose, after multiple attempts and failed attempts to do those patterns, I decided instead to use the Birds of a Feather blanket from While They Dream. I'll leave all of the patterns that I mention and work on in the description below if you want to check them out. As we discussed last night, I played Yarn Chicken for the final round. I have all of this left. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly show all the colors here. Here was June 2024. My subscription was based off of Cabin in the Woods, and this is July 2024, August 2024, September, October, here's November, December, January 2025, and February, and then we had March, April, and May. And then the gray is just the mini skeins that came with each full skein, held double to create this. And that means I have an empty basket. Now that I've finished something, I think I have that mojo to keep finishing stuff, because I've just been starting things and never finishing them. So I've lost that oh my gosh, it feels amazing to finish something. I'm currently riding that high, and this is the closest project that I can get finished. It is a newer project, yes, but it's also that baby cardigan that literally only takes me 3 days if I'm going start to finish. Once I get through the sleeves, it's just straight knitting. So that's gonna be the next project we work on. But I'm actually gonna empty this basket, fill this guy. That way I actually only have the one basket to be working on. choice. And that choice has actually already been made. I will be frogging this project here. It's been on the needles for far too long, and recently, anytime I come to pick it up, I don't wanna. I don't think it's the yarn that's the problem. I really do like this yarn, and it like literally matches my hair now. Like almost exactly. That's crazy. The pattern, I think, is the problem. I almost want to say it's too complicated, but like I don't want to say that at the same time. It's a 12-row repeat. Because I'm start and stopping this project, I'm not retaining or remembering the repeat at all. And my tension has been changing, so we're just gonna go ahead and frog. I also need the needles. So, yeah. Why do I need the needles though? Because I'm casting on something new. Am I finishing something? No. But we're frogging something, so we're getting rid of something. And that's gonna be good enough for me. As long as I am working down removing the whips, we're okay. This was one of those cast gifts that needed to be done instantly, so here's 60 of these. Alright, here's the thing. We need to do a serious update on my projects because things have gotten a little out of hand, and I think I have completely lost sight of where this challenge, or not even challenge, but where this video was going in the first place. Yes, this was meant to be a this video ends when I finish all of my whips, and that hasn't really happened, as you just saw. I consistently was just casting on, and that has happened because of this lovely season right here. It is Christmas time. I've needed to do some Christmas projects, and that involved casting on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this as a somewhat loss on this particular concept for this video. But here I have a sweater that was a little bit of a fail. I'll explain why. This was meant to be my husband's birthday present, and unfortunately, once I finished casting it off and weaving in the ends, gifting it to him, he tried it on and it was a dress. Way, way too big. So where I think I went wrong is just somewhere in the yoke. It is a bottom-up construction. Where I think I went wrong is not even something that I did myself. I think it is something to do with the pattern and the way it was written. I have printed off every single page that the pattern comes with, but unfortunately it does not give any guidance into sizing other than garment chest and garment length. So there is nothing indicating where I should go off of body measurement and then calculating into the garment final size. So I did have to actually put this down for a while, and I'm still not yet ready to go back and fix it.
I don't entirely even know where to begin trying to fix this, because I went for a size large, which did match my husband's body measurement. I knew that it was meant to be a little bit oversized, but I did not consider how oversized, again, because it didn't give me any guidance with that. It's the Duet pullover by Jarbo, and I used this yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. Every single part of this pattern was gorgeous. I think ultimately that I just made a size too big. However, upon putting it on, my husband did say it's really just the neckline and the shoulders that make it feel too big. The rest of it feels fine. He feels confident that I can just pull back the yoke and make that adjusted. However, somewhere inside, I feel like I need to completely make it over in a smaller size. So let me know what you think, what I should go about doing. I do need to put this project in timeout for the remainder of the year, but it is technically done by the sake of this video. Then continuing in Christmas fashion, I did go ahead and finish 2 Musselburgh hats. These are Christmas gifts, so I'm not going to say who they're for. I'm just going to go ahead and show them off here. This is one side for each, and then here would be the other side for both of them. I do have one more Musselburgh to make, and that is currently on the needles. And then I also casted on and recently finished this pair of fingerless gloves, or 2 pairs, excuse me. So I'll put one of each hand on, just to show them off. I still need to weave in the ends on these, but I have a little bit more time because it's not actually yet Christmas, and that's fine. But I've got this pair here. This was using Petrified Forest National Park by Yarnaceous Fibers. And this one, I used a colorway called K7 by the Royal Bee. And this pattern is the Pioneer Gloves. Unfortunately, the name of the designer is somewhere off in the wild for me, but I will make sure it is linked in the description below. But that is everything that I have physically with me. I did make some other things for the senior center, which you can see in this video. Okay, so it's only a few days later since the last update, but I did go ahead and weave in the ends on these 2 pairs of gloves. They are ready for wrapping and ready to be gifted. And then I just finished this morning this Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. This is the final hat that I needed to make, as well as my final Christmas gift. The opposite side looks basically just the same, but once it is folded over, you couldn't tell that there was fuzz. Alrighty, and those are the final projects being finished in this video. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, this video did not finish the way I had originally intended it to, but I did want this to come out at the start of Vlogmas, and so that is why I am choosing to end it now. Even though I didn't finish everything that I started with at the beginning of this video, I do think that with how much I was casting on and finishing throughout the course, I did still make very big progress on my stash of WIPs. I went from 8 to probably 15 at some point, and I now have 6, 3 of which are long-term expected to be WIPs for a very long time. I do want to show some of the projects that I will be working on for the rest of 2025 and through the rest of Vlogmas as well. So even though these projects didn't get any time for this particular video, I do know that they are going to get all the attention for the rest of December. The first one is my folklore cardigan, which is inspired by the Taylor Swift cardigan merch. I already have the first set of cabling already done. That's what's here. And this is just the back panel. I started this, I think I want to say I started this in June, and this was supposed to be my own birthday present, which is at the end of August. This is as far as I got. So hopefully it can be my New Year's sweater if I finish this in December. We'll see we'll see what happens. And then I also have my Magic Knot Ball crochet blanket, which I'm using my Magic Knot Ball of all of my scraps from all fingering weight yarn that I've been collecting since 2023. And this is where we're at. I'm using a moss stitch and I'm going corner to corner. The goal is for this to be like a twin size throw. And I think right now it is 40 inches, but a twin is supposed to be 65 by 90. So I still got a ways to go, but don't worry, I have this much more of my Magic Knot Ball. I do fear that I might actually run out of what I am holding it with, and that is just a bunch of random sparkly white yarn that I have, but I don't think it's gonna make it for the entire like twin size goal. I'm not too worried about it though. This has no deadline. Of course it did kind of have a deadline of this video ends when, but now that we've changed the goal on that, I think this can stay as a long-term, it ends when it ends type project. But now that I don't have anything to work on, I mean, I still have both of these, but I am going to put my focus and energy for the rest of December into this cardigan. I actually don't have an advent project this year or an advent calendar, so I think I'm gonna turn this project into my December 2025 Advent project. I'm curious to see if I can finish this by December 25th, 2025. I think, okay, I know we just watched a video of me casting on everything and not working on anything that I originally set forth. In a weird way, this video has helped me turn into a monogamous crafter. While I was casting on something new, I still was monogamously working on that new project and finishing it right away. I worked it all the way through. I am talking you through the plan a little bit because I'm trying to also convince myself that this is possible. So help me. If you think I can finish this sweater by Christmas Eve so that I can wear it Christmas morning, please give this video a like, subscribe to watch the journey, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Vlogmas 2025 is already so much fun and I can't wait to see where it takes us. I'll see you soon, but until then, cheers.